afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ibrahim Mohammed. I'm a student of hostels, and I would like to present my work on the presentation outlines on intercultural communication class. That's COM 200, which is under the teachings of Dr. Subet. Yeah, and the final presentation is about difference matter. So difference matter, as we all know, is a difference. We are all in one way. We come from a different background, and that is what makes us a unique people or a unique people in the life that we live now. Our differences is what makes us what we learn about each other in life. We have to learn how to value each other and respect each other cultures, because most of the time we end up living or being in a community where other cultures, most of the time we end up living and being a community where everyone is different, and we have to learn about the difference. We have to respect each other culture and value. From this basic onset or the basic concept, when you learn to appreciate someone's culture and value it as your own, there is a better understanding, making it very easy way to communicate and also show some ideological values that will benefit your life and living with the people or with the community that you appreciate to be with them. I have a few things that some of my family members have a discussion and to see their point of view or their point of opinion. I have learned to appreciate cultures and value it as well. You don't know where you will end up being in life or as the world, because in the world now evolves, so do we. We have to understand people's culture. You have to understand people's culture and appreciate the culture that they have. We can, and once again, as the world evolves, so we have to understand people's culture so that we can communicate easily to make life better for us whenever you are in this world. Because I could remember when I come to the United States, I was the policy that I've been following back in my country is a British policy that I don't know anything about the United States or something like that. In my first year coming to the United States, I find it difficult understanding the people, the culture that they have here, because in my country, even though people like, we have a lot of cultures and we have a lot of ethnic group that people came from. But to my religion as a Islam, as a Muslim, like, I'm not used to like people wearing, and very fortunate I came in the summertime. I'm not fortunate like people wearing a short dress, because I see people almost naked when they are moving. That's a different culture that the people of the United States are having than where I'm from, because I think why is everybody naked? So until when I become used to the community and understand the condition of the weather and how it is and how people have fear for the summer, I begin to understand, oh, this is the culture that they also have, to also like to get rid of something out of their environment. And secondly, because sometimes when I've been in a train, I see some people, like, excuse my language, they've been kissing each other and everything. Then I'll be like, if this person is your husband or your wife, you and the person being in the room for like 12 hours or so, and you all the time being, so what is the point that you be kissing your wife in the train? Because where I'm from, it's not like that, because you cannot even kiss a lady outside. So as time goes on and I sit down and see that, oh, this is the culture that the United States is having. So I was like, okay, you have to adapt with the culture so that you understand the feelings of the people, and that's what makes us different, to learn from each other. And also, so we can communicate easily to make it better for us whenever you are in this world. So appreciating people and their value differences is important, because you will let person feel as if they are appreciated and respected, and they will be trusted between the two of you, because you have some kind of humor for his or her culture. See, like when there is a trust between two people, their communication is better than the person always voice out everything that you just get benefit out of it. And also, like, therefore there is a better understanding of things. For example, in the school that I am, there is many people with a different background, where we are able to understand each other and communicate better. Everyone has a different culture, and we have to respect that. Because of development, we all under situation in some cultures. Some people are more hands when talking. What some people use hands when talking, whilst others also even look at you, depending on where you are, and things that look at. To me, culture is very important to me, because culture is important, because it provides social and economical value between the community and the people that live in the community. We can also learn and create opportunity by coming together with other cultures. We can amend in our life to increase our overall well-being of both ourselves and our communities. Culture is strong in people's lives. Yeah, culture is, because I'll give you an example of, like, when I was back in my country, and my tribe, we are Hausa Fulanis from the northern Nigeria. But my great grandfathers, they are the first traders who went to Ghana to reside there. So after that, they also create the Fulanis in Ghana. So, like, we value the culture, and we have a deva that we've been doing every year, which is like, it prompts a lot of people from outside the country, those who have traveled for so many years, and those who are within the community, and even those who don't know anything about the culture that they want to learn it. So with this thing, it has created a peaceful atmosphere between my community and the different communities who don't know my culture. So now a lot of people are trying to learn your culture, because at first they see those people, they see us as some kind of inferior people, until when they sit down with us, learn the culture that we have, and now they get to understand, oh, now these people don't see us inferiors, because they really have a unique culture that we can learn and also improve on our culture. So culture is very important in life, and it provides social economic value between the well-being and the other community. Yeah. Culture is very strong in people's life. Yeah, it has a strong influence on how we see things. Yeah, because I can see some cultures is greater than my cultures, and others too will see my culture is greater than theirs. But when we all come together, and like we find a solution, we can even create a different culture, so that, like, we also be like a pioneers of those cultures in life. So as we are talking about culture is strong in people's life. Yeah. And in one of the movies that I watch about the Molade, we can see a major difference in cultures. This movie took place in Africa, Bambara village in Burkina Faso. And Burkina Faso is not far from my country, because it has a border from Ghana to Burkina Faso. When you pass through Amele to Tumu, you end up being in Burkina Faso. So Ghana and Burkina Faso is having a cordial relationship that even is better than the other part of the bordering country around Ghana. And there are so many instances that Burkina Faso people help Ghana. And I think our first president of the Republic of Ghana, who got the independence for Ghana, I think later on, like, develop some part of Burkina Faso. So we have a cordial relationship with Burkina Faso. So talking about this movie is where women are not as valued or respected as men. And looking at this, it's not something that has to do with that particular culture, but it's particularly based on African communities. All African communities see this thing as something 99% strong, because women are not valued or respected as men. Looking at the Western world, like the United States, the British, and some other part of the world, where like they are deep much in democracy, and they are also fighting for the fundamental human rights based on women. So when where women are not see as value respected as men in this movie, we can see culture was very important to them, important to the men, as they did not want to change their ways, and even though culture wanted to change, had nothing to do with them, but rather the women. We can see in this movie that when like through the movie, I said, when women went through a lot of hardship to have a voice in the community, they broke a culture value to have a voice. This is something we can all learn from. Sometimes we need to evolve our culture. We need to evolve our culture in life. Yeah, we need to evolve our culture to make it look a better understanding of things in like in many cultures. You see, it's something that we can all learn from, something that we need to evolve our culture to have a better understanding of it. In my culture self inventory paper, I spoke about myself and how my culture has influenced the way of life, and I made me who I am today. Yeah, because if I talk about it, because I see myself as a different person. Like when back in the days when I was in my country, I see myself as a different person. But now that I'm in the United States, I see myself like in a different culture altogether. So like looking at these standards, like it's something that I learned from the United States. So now when I go back to my country, I have learned a lot of different cultures that, like, those there will see me with a different culture altogether. So this is something that we can all learn from. Sometimes we need to evolve our culture to have a better understanding of things. So now talking back to my self-inventory paper that I spoke about myself, that's how it is. Culture is a way of communicating. It is a way of understanding, and it's very earning to one trust. Trying to understand someone culture gives them a sense of trust, and it can make them calm down and open more for you. Yeah, because I could remember the other time that the first time that I came to the United States in Manhattan, I saw somebody with a dress on, and the lady, she's half naked, and I asked her, "Excuse me, can I talk to you a moment?" She was like, "Yeah." So I asked her, "So why are you dressed like this?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "This is the life of America. Whenever there's a summer, we dress like this because we cannot resist the sun heat." So looking at me back when I was in my country, like we are used to the sun, and through the sun we wear heavy clothes. So as I get to learn, because if I'm not open to the person, she won't tell me the exactly reason why she is walking like half naked. So I need something about the culture of the United States and the culture of Africa, because we have two different culture. So if you have a two different culture, you have to learn from each other so that you get the better understanding of everything in life. Also, talking about culture, culture is a way of communicating and understanding, the way of earning trust. Understanding the culture gives sense of trust. It can also calm down and open more. Understanding culture, communicating, and earning trust. Understanding culture is more about religion, language, economy, and many more. People tend to build trust, finding common grounds. In order to build community, we must first understand each other, trust each other. When they're understanding each other, can break certain barriers such as racism. Yes, I talk about racism because we have to do away with racism between the two of us, so that we make a better place in the community. Because look, like, looking at the issue that is going on in the United States now about the racism of the white people and the Black Americans or the Latinos, you see, it's something that has come, and it's that was the then culture. So now in the 21st century, we came with a different culture. We came with a different culture because now we have to change it and modernize it in such a way that we we will not let that one happen, but we modernize it and try to make it something very unique. Because when this black movement came across the whole United States, people were on the street voicing out for justice and everything. I saw one caption that, like, I feel very happy about it, because I saw a lady in Manhattan which hold a banner that said, we are not our grandfathers. We are not our grandfathers. So now if you oppress us, we're gonna, excuse my language, we're gonna fuck you up. So I wrote that thing down, and I said, okay, fine. Since we are not our grandfathers, so our grandfathers, they are the one that have been molested, and now that we looking at that time, they don't get like a lot of education. But this is a situation that we have modernized the thing, we have made the thing better, and we have education on our own. So why don't we use our education and modernize everything, so that, like, we have a better living with the people? Forgive and forget will not cost anything. Even though they hate, we the blacks, we have to forgive them, so that we have a peaceful atmosphere and have a peaceful coalition between the two of us, so that you see a lot of development coming through, a lot of intercultural marriage will come into, a lot of investment between the black and the whites will come into, and the Latinos and all people of colors. So that's how we as a world have to do, not like to be a divided individual. Because there's a saying in my local language in Ghana that together we stand, divided we fall. Yeah, if we divide, we're gonna fall, but we have to strong, because we are one people, one nation, and one destiny. We all want betterment for our life. So that again, when it come to the issue of culture between the two people, you see, it's something important to talk about culture and understanding. Two people can be from the same LPR, but they have a different culture values. For example, have a friend that grew up in the back home, like my country, throughout where I was born in Ghana, and someone who voice were different in a westernized way. We tend to have a clash when it comes to communicating and understanding each other, because I was raised up back then. In Ghana, my point of view of certain things is much different than my friend here. Although we all had a common thing, we have been minded which lead us to communicate, though at times we clash in our communication, because we both have an open mind, that we are still also understanding that we were saying. I brought up this up to my friend to see what their point of view is. The last time when I was doing my self-inventory work. So we agree that understanding cultural value is important, because communicating helps us to build community. It helps build trust as well. Language, culture, and it's important because most of the time language does not correspond with culture. The way person talks to you might be influenced by their culture. When you talk about understanding person culture, it also builds forms of trust between the two of you. In some cultures, eye contact alone is something important, depending on where you're from. But it's in some part of the culture too, staring or looking at someone for too long is form of disrespect. Yeah, because, like, back in Ghana, you cannot have a high contact looking at an elderly person just like that. You feel like this person is disrespecting me. But here in the United States, it's a different thing altogether. So if you have a high contact with somebody for too long, the person thinks that, oh, you admire him and you like whatever he is doing. That's the difference of culture. You see, that's how it builds and from the trust between the two people and different cultures. When take you to the person culture. In some cultures too, eye contact is important depending on where it comes from. In some part of the culture too is bad. Like give example of myself here in Africa and the one here. And also simple everyday action that we do could be a form of disrespect. Understanding the way we talk to each other and also important concept such as speaking. This can be a formal and informal depending on the culture. Yeah, depending on the culture that you can. In some cultures, your tone of voice, in some cultures, your tone of voice is something people look at. Therefore, understanding culture is very important. What we might do in our culture, we could be disrespectful to understand else. This is the understanding the difference between culture and religion that comes in. When we take our time to understand each other, when we take our time to understand one culture, one language, and the way life, we're more capable of working together, learn from each other as well as building a stronger community and teaching each other much and teaching each other like more. We get to understand each other better than before. I have learned to appreciate people, cultures, and values, to build trust with them and work with them for a better future. I've learned how to talk to certain people. I've learned how to communicate and help a long way. I will continue to appreciate people and their culture as I want people to also appreciate my own culture. This has brought me closer to people I work with and people that I go to school with. We have an understanding and appreciating the people around us is a good thing that we always have. We have to learn a value which we can build relation. We can also learn from each other and build a community's more appreciating culture and can help prevent misunderstandings such as racism between us. If we took time to actually learn, we can overcome a lot of misunderstanding that is going on now. Understanding culture makes people feel more acceptable in the community or any society that the person lives. Thank you very much. This is my presentation on the final outline presentation. And once again, my name is Ibrahim Mohammed, Intercommunication Class 200, and Dr. Subet as a professor. Thank you very much. God bless you.